In a recent interview, this bloke here said that universities have a tax-exempt status in Australia, meaning that universities don't pay any tax on the money that they collect or revenue that they collect. Even if they make gargantuan amounts of profit, they are tax exempt. Have a look at that. Billions and billions of dollars in revenue that they don't pay any tax on. Everyone bangs on about corporate tax, but what about the education tax? Come on, let's look at this. Which is kind of cool if you're a university. So universities are committed to bringing in as many international students as they possibly can, that pay full fees, and then they don't have to pay any tax on the money they make, thus empowering them to become bigger, larger, and stronger institutions. Now that's great, good on them. They have this special place in our society where they don't need to pay tax. But too bad for you if you're looking for your first home. Too bad for you if you're an Aussie student competing for a university place. And too bad for the private sector if you're trying to compete for jobs against an institution that doesn't play on the same playing field that you do. Now, I saw a story recently that said 14,000 university jobs will be lost if they have to cut back on migrant student numbers. And I thought to myself, well, would that be the end of the world if those 14,000 people had to enter the private sector and compete for real wages with the rest of the businesses out there and the employees? Might not be that bad after all. Business is hard in Australia. It's hard to do business here. And when you're competing against institutions and players that don't have to pay tax or don't have to compete in the real world for real wages at the levels that the rest of us are having to run businesses at, you've got to think to yourself that the fucking game is rigged. And we all know the game is rigged. And if you're one of those people that works in a university that makes the most out of these migrant students coming in and paying full fees while Aussie kids are basically fucking hung out to dry with huge HECS debts that they'll never pay off or potentially pay off and then be screwed in the housing market, then you need to have a good hard look at yourself, because are you really an Aussie?